Coming up on the South Florida High School Football Show, Westminster Christian is on the way to the playoffs. In District 2A, Dade Christian has a new coach and getting big-time results. On the recruiting trail, Troy Drayton is tracking the defensive backs, and we'll preview your school for next week. That's coming up next, right here on the South Florida High School Football Show. Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to the South Florida High School Football Show. Joe Zagacki, alongside my broadcast partner, Don Bailey Jr., as we come to you from the Regal Entertainment Group Theater in Plantation. We are right between Pine Island and University, where we are more than just a movie. Okay, we got a lot of high school football to talk about. Hopefully, we don't jinx anybody. We did it again last week.
Yes, we did.
We had St. Thomas on the show. They went down. We talked about Southwest. They went down. So here we go. It's not our fault. However, we have talked about a few teams that are soaring to the top. American Heritage was one of them. All right, so we're going to begin in Dade County with Westminster Christian. Westminster last week took on Chaminade. They won the district with a victory over Chaminade. Westminster had a heck of a season a year ago, Don. They won 10 games, coached by Cedric Irvin.
Well, what's nice, Joe, is their ability to build on last season. Sometimes you see in a program when you have success one year, it doesn't carry over the next year. Well, Cedric Irvin, a former college football player, a guy that has a ton of experience, understands the game both inside and out, he was able to build on last year's 10-win season, and once again, he puts a successful campaign together.
Cedric was one of the great running backs in the history of Miami-Dade County. So you know he likes to run the football. They were able to throw it against Chaminade, but his core is running the football.
Absolutely, and why wouldn't it be? It's the safest way to go. It eats up time of possession. It gives your defense a rest, but also Coach Irving realizes that you cannot be one-dimensional. That run game is outstanding to set up the play action, but at some point in some game, especially when you get into the playoffs or you get into a tight competition, you're going to have to air it out, and they proved that they could do that.
With quarterback Christian Matos, who's been efficient this year, the big play receiver is Elbury Gator IV, and they're averaging 36 points per game and giving up just 9. That's a good ratio.
Well, you like the 4-to-1 ratio there. That means that you've got a margin of error offensively when your defense is doing such a great job of shutting down the points. And then when you think about the ability to score like they have, when you start getting into that 36-point range, that's a great number, and there's a lot of safety in those numbers.
Westminster has only one regular season game remaining before they go into the postseason. How important is that momentum going into the playoffs?
Well, listen, you're into the playoffs. That's the most important thing. Would you like to win the last game before you go into the playoffs? Absolutely. You want to keep your head clear. You want to have the momentum in your direction, and you want everybody on the same page. So a positive ending to the season before the playoffs start would help.
All right, we'll stay in Miami-Dade County, small school, District 2A, Dade Christian. Dade Christian was in the state championship game in 2012. Now they have a former alum as their head coach, Nick Martinez, and he's injected a lot of energy into this squad, and they're playing really good football.
Well, one thing about having an alumni coach is that they appreciate the success, and their heart and soul is into it. They are there for one reason, and that is the success of the program. It's nice to know that Coach Martinez is there. It's great to see that he's got them infused with energy, and let's hope that they can get into the playoffs again.
They've got a nice quarterback, Alec Carr, having a solid season, only one interception, so their quarterback is protecting the football.
Well, what's nice about that is it doesn't put your defense in a bind ever. To go through a season at this stage of the game and only have one pick means that he's getting some great coaching. He understands his job, he's not a risk taker, and he realizes that they can win if he doesn't turn the football over, and that's a part of his package.
Martinez was an all-Dade selection when he was a player, at Dade Christian, and so he knows what it takes, and he's providing a lot of leadership.
Well, that he is, and I'm sure he's getting the support of the school as well. They remember when he was there and how successful he is, and that they have no problem with him being in control of the program.
All right, the Crusaders had a big district game with Village Academy, and then after that, they have one district game remaining, so we'll continue to track their progress. Let's go up to Broward County. One of the traditional teams in Broward, Dillard, trying to keep its district hopes alive, played Northeast this week. Lorenzo Davis is the head coach, and he has one of his most talented teams, and they always seem good athletes.
Well, it's great to see the Dillards getting close, and especially if it gets to the end of the season, they're in the playoffs. They work very, very hard for that. They're, as you mentioned, they always seem to have talent that's available, and let's hope it all comes together for Coach.
Consistency has been the key issue there. Up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit. So you want to be a more consistent team.
Well, you want to take more steps forward than you do back, and that's the important part of it. And that's in all three phases. It doesn't matter if it's the special teams, offense, or the defense. You're going to need contributions from all three phases if you not only to get into the playoffs, but also to have success once you're in them.
Dillard is averaging 25 points a game with quarterback Anthony Mo Hassan, 9 touchdown passes, and he's throwing for almost 700 yards.
Yeah, it's nice to see the touchdown passes, Joe, because it's important on all aspects. When you have a quarterback that is comfortable throwing the football, you know if you get behind, you got a chance to come back.
All right, Dillard lost to Boyd Anderson in district play. That hurt. They still have Boynton Beach, and as always, they finished the season with the Soul Bowl against Ely.
Yeah, everybody shows up for that one. It's big, and it gets the whole community to turn out, and that is one of the better games, of course, in Broward County every single year.
All right, it was another big weekend of high school football. Let's check out many of the highlights.
Thanks, Joe and Don. Adam Cooperstein here, and we start with our Thursday night game, an important district contest between Matter Academy and Miami Springs. And this one was back and forth. Matter was ahead 14-7 when Miami Springs quarterback DeAndre Miles finds David Bradley Jr. right there to tie the game right before halftime. Now, Matter would go ahead with this 62-yard run by Darius Brown in the third, and then to get a field goal in the fourth. But Miami Springs would find the end zone in the fourth quarter, and they'd need a 2-point conversion to tie. Check it out. The first attempt, good, but called back on a penalty. The second attempt then intercepted Latavius Brinney, and Matter wins a close one, 29-27. On Friday night, it was Piper High School taking on Taravella. Anthony Boykin tries to get out of his own end zone. He is stuffed by Piper's defense. That's a safety. Then on the ensuing free kick, it's Jaquez Jeffrard taking it to the house. 9 points on 2 consecutive plays. Piper takes it 17-14. Heavy rain down at Traz Powell, where Miami Norland squared off with Carroll City. Norland getting tricky. It's Joseph Vaujean. The fake punt works to perfection, and that keeps the drive alive. It also allows Chavis Wright to score on a running touchdown. This game went to overtime where Norland was victorious 14-8. And in Coral Gables, rain couldn't slow down the Cavaliers' offense. Gables just crushed Coral Park. A shutout, 42-0. That's Antoine Roll with the touchdown off the screen pass. Coral Gables stays undefeated. They're now 5-0 with a big game against Columbus next week.
The South Florida High School Football Show is sponsored by the Miami Dolphins, Metro PCS, U.S. Army, Vera Cadillac Buick GMC, Tico Peoples Gas, Adidas, and Regal Cinemas.
The following are real customer testimonials.
I'm Lena from Pinecrest. I love my Buick Enclave from Vera Buick. I've bought 2 cars at Vera and I got the best price and they treat me just like family.
Somos Gina y Roy del Doral. Hemos comprado 4 Cadillacs en Vera, donde recibimos el trato familiar sin mencionar el mejor precio en el sur de la Florida.
Our customers said it all. Experience the Vera difference at Vera Cadillac Buick GMC Pembroke Pines. Vera is 4 miles north of Sun Life Stadium.
Bro, just watch what I do.
This the game that shows us. Pioneers started at 24. Bet he don't do it. Lining up the block.
See that, Jimmy?
Yo, he said get him so again.
That's 18.
Masterpiece. That's that new speed.
When was the moment you knew you were a Dolphins fan? It's being able to say, I've been a fan since perfection.
Completed the greatest season in NFL history.
Since my very first game. since right now. Each one of us has our since moment. What's yours?
The South Florida High School Football Show's recruiting segment is sponsored by Metro PCS. Wireless for all.
Welcome back, everybody, to the South Florida High School Football Show. Joe Zagacki with Don Bailey Jr., former University of Miami team captain and center, as we continue talking high school football from the Regal Entertainment Group Theater in Plantation, where we are more than just a movie. We're going to move into our recruiting segment with Troy Drayton here momentarily, and the position we're going to look at is a very popular one. That's defensive back.
It is, Joe. It's one of the skill positions, and I believe that South Florida, Dade, Broward, Palm Beach County, and really if you look at the whole state, they have produced some outstanding defensive backs over the years.
I think if you go from Lake Okeechobee down to Homestead, you can come up with a few defensive backs.
And what's nice about it is they're stockpiled. You can get them every single year.
And it's important today with the way everybody's throwing the football around.
Well, when you think about it, it's really turned into a different ball game. Yeah, now you were going to recruit linebackers, and I think the linebacker position has lost a spot or two. People are going more, they'd rather play with 5 defensive backs than the normal 2 to 4.
Now let's find out about these defensive backs using my Metro PCS LG Optimus F6. I'm looking here because my eyes are going, and I'm texting Troy Drayton about the defensive backs. I made a little mistake there. So I'm texting Troy about the defensive backs. Troy?
Hey, I'm receiving a text from Joe about the South Florida defensive backs. This is something that I can definitely handle. Our first defensive back is Malik Young of Coconut Creek High School. Malik is 5'10", 195 pounds. He's committed to the University of Georgia after receiving over 25 offers. This senior is excited to play hard and lead his senior team and then take his talents to the Bulldogs. Our second defensive back is Trayvon Mullen of Coconut Creek High School. Trayvon is 6'2", 175 pounds. This outstanding recruit has worked his way up to be one of the top 10 recruits in the state of Florida and ranks number 18 in the nation. He has over 40 different offers from some of the nation's largest schools, including LSU, FSU, Baylor, and Auburn. Our third defensive back is Cedric Wright of Gulliver Prep. Cedric is 5'9", 180 pounds. Wright was an early commitment to the University of Miami. A 4-star recruit at strong safety, he is said to be excited to continue his football career with his 2 best friends at the University of Miami. Our next defensive back is Dante Carrier Williams from St. Thomas Aquinas. Dante is 5'11", 185 pound, 3-star recruit with 4.6 speed at the cornerback position. He ranks among the top 65 in the state overall. Courier Williams has received over a dozen offers, but is yet to make a commitment. Our next recruit is Jamil Cook from Miami Central. Jamil is a 6'4", 185 pound, 4-star recruit. He is a big safety at 6'4" and is committed to Florida State University. He is ranked number 10 in the state of Florida for the 2016 class by 24/7 Sports. Roland Smith, Cook's high school coach, said Cook can play anywhere in the secondary. And our last defensive back is James Wiggins from Homestead. James is 5'11", 170 pounds. Wiggins is a rising star from Homestead. He is committed to Miami after 2-sport athlete Evan Henson pledged to the University of Miami. Predominantly playing the safety position, Wiggins also plays receiver. I'm texting you guys back, Joe and Don. Hopefully you'll be calling these guys' name on Saturday. This is a great class of DBs from South Florida.
Hey, look at that. I got a text back from Troy Drayton. This is the way you recruit now, though, right? You text and you tweet.
I'm proud of you, Joe. I didn't even know you knew how to text.
I do know how to text. I know how to tweet also.
Thank God you got a young daughter. That's who taught you.
Next week, Troy Drayton will be taking a look at many of the recruits that are zeroing in on the University of Miami, FIU, and FAU. So we look forward to that. And when we come back, our Coach of the Week segment as we continue on the South Florida High School Football Show.
Tico Peoples Gas is awarding the 7th Annual Player of the Year Awards to a player in Miami-Dade and a player in Broward County. Fans can nominate a player by logging on to southfloridahighschoolfootball.com. Click on the Tico Player of the Year icon. Nominations are open until November 30th. After November 30th, revisit the site and vote for the finalist. The players receive a beautiful crystal trophy, and their school receives a $500 donation. Tune in to our National Signing Day TV show on February the 3rd, where the winners are announced. This Dolphin Players Flashback is sponsored by the Miami Dolphins.
My name is Logan Thomas. I play quarterback here for the Dolphins. In high school, I played wide receiver, and then quarterback and safety. My favorite high school memory is playing in the state championship with my best of friends, which I'm still friends with to this day. A bunch of great guys, and we always communicate with each other. The high school I went to was Brookville High School in Lynchburg, Virginia. A small school, about 900 students. My best advice to you guys is just stay in the books, keep working hard there, because to get into school, that's the number one thing that they ask about is your books. And number two thing is your character. You got to pick great friends and stay great friends with those people that are good for you, because they'll take you far in life.
Vera Cadillac Buick GMC is awarding the Teacher of the Year awards to a teacher in Miami-Dade and a teacher in Broward County. Fans can nominate a teacher by logging on to SouthFloridaHighSchoolFootball.com. Click on the Vera Teacher of the Year icon. Nominations are open until December 30th. The teachers will receive a beautiful crystal trophy and a 6-month lease from Vera Cadillac Buick GMC, and their school receives a $2,000 donation. Tune in to our National Signing Day TV show on February 3rd, where the winners will be announced.
You know why I brought you here today? Metro gives you unlimited data, talk, and text, taxes and fees included for $30, period. Holy! With 4G LTE data included.
We love LTE data.
On the nationwide 4G LTE T-Mobile network. Now, let's take some selfies. Switch to Metro PCS for nationwide 4G LTE, $30, period, plus a free 4G LTE phone after instant rebate. Now let's get a picture of your free phone taking a picture of my free phone.
For outdoor projects large or small, avoiding buried utility lines is more than food for thought.
What happened?
Know what's below. You or your contractor should always call 811 before you dig. Utilities will mark your lines for free. Brought to you by Tico Peoples Gas.
You love movies. Join the club and the movies will love you back. The Regal Crown Club. With every visit, you earn credits toward free movies, popcorn, and soft drinks. Plus, with a valid email, you'll get money-saving offers and special invitations to exclusive events. Grab a card at the box office, activate it at regmovies.com, or visit our Regal Movies mobile app. Then earn rewards with a swipe or scan of your card right from your phone. So share the love. Join the club, the Regal Crown Club.
The South Florida High School Football Show's Coaches segment is sponsored by Adidas. Stay up to speed with the fastest brand in football on Twitter and Instagram by following @Adidas FBall US.
Welcome back to the South Florida High School Football Show. Joe Zagacki and Don Bailey Jr. coming to you from the Regal Entertainment Theater in Plantation between Pine Island and University, where we are more than just a movie. Well, earlier in our show, we talked about Cedric Irvin, the head coach at Westminster Christian. They're on their way to the playoffs. They defeated Chaminade a week ago to win the district. Cedric Irvin, Don, was one of the great running backs in Miami-Dade County high school history, playing at Miami High.
He sure was, and he took his wares up north. He played at Michigan State, did a fantastic job while I was there, even though I wish he would have stayed in the state of Florida, Joe. You know that's how I think.
Yeah. Well, he's done a great job with Westminster Christian, and they have his influence because, as we mentioned, they clearly like to run the football.
Well, I think it's great that you have a former college player, especially that was a standout, because it gives his comments and his coaching legitimacy. The players are the parents for sure remember what a great player he was. So when he says something, they say, listen to Coach said.
They missed states last year by about that much. This year, they could be back in the mix. They've already won the district, so they're in the playoffs. So at Westminster Christian, not so much about rebuilding, maybe more about reloading, as our cameras caught up with Cedric Irvin.
There's always process before prize. You know, that's what I preach to my guys. Anything you do, there's always a process before you get to that prize. And whether you want to call it rebuilding or starting over, you know, we just have a program here. You know, the next guy step in. And that's what we've been preaching. You know, what you put in is what you get. What you reap, what you sow. And right now, these guys they sowed the seed of hard work and discipline, and that's what it showed in our play. walking by faith and not by sight. Because if you look at us, we only have 23 players. You know, we don't pass the eye test. You know, we don't have the 6'5", 300 guy. You know, we don't have the 6'4" receiver. But we have a bunch of guys that have heart and got faith in the coaches and in each other and themselves. And that will make us so far a great football team. It go process and prize for the coaches too. It's all a process that we go through. And these coaches here, they're not just good coaches, they're good teachers and they're good people. And they care. They care. They're not coming here for a paycheck. You know, these guys that come out here, they'll demonstrate. You know, they tell their own personal testimony. And these kids feed off the coach's desire and their effort that they bring out here every day also. When you come to Westminster Christian and Warrior football, you know, our motto is we walk by faith and not by sight. And with that, you know, it's all about what you believe in, not what you see. And these guys got big hearts, man. And when we pray, that's something we really believe in. And that's what's getting us through. And they got a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, a lot of desire, commitment. And the one thing we preach is being disciplined. And that's what we pride ourselves on here, and that's how we had the success that we've been having. One thing I brag about is the support that I get from my parents. You know, for one, they got love for their son, but they're committed to this program, and anything I need or anything the program need, you know, these parents are willing, and that's a blessing in itself. If you're a fan of football, if you're a fan of the old day football, this is Ironman football that we play here. You'll see 23 guys come out here and play all three phases of the game. And I always tell these guys, if somebody's watching you, what they gonna say about you? And in that, these guys go out there and they play with their hearts.
All right, Cedric, thank you very much, and the best of luck to Westminster Christian. That's a nice little campus. They produced a lot of great athletes, including A-Rod, through the years.
And they're not stopping, Joe. They keep pumping them out for college football and baseball, and of course, let's wait for some basketball as well.
Won the state championship in baseball a year ago. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the top games. Your school, whether it's in Miami-Dade or Broward, that's coming up next, right here on the South Florida High School Football Show.
Remember, South Florida high school football fans, you can stay in the know with the latest news and updates by following us on social media. Follow us on Twitter at HSFBall, Instagram at SFHSFS, and be sure to like us on Facebook at South Florida High School Football. Time now for the U.S. Army All-American nominees. Malek Young of Coconut Creek High School. Malek is 5'10" and weighs 189 pounds. This cornerback received over 25 different offers and is excited to play hard and lead his senior team. Nick Bosa from St. Thomas Aquinas High School. Nick is 6'3" and weighs 250 pounds. Bosa is a 5-star defensive end recruit who has worked his way up to being one of the top 5 recruits in the nation. Bosa's father, John, played for the Miami Dolphins.
Bro, just watch what I do.
This the game that chose us. Pioneers started 24. Bet he don't do it. Lining up the block like a goal.
See that, Jimmy?
The following are real customer testimonials.
I'm Davina from Pembroke Pines, and I buy my Cadillacs at Vera, and I get the best prices with no hassles. I love Vera.
We are Don and Scott from Davie. We bought our GMC Sierra from Vera. It was the most fun we've had buying a car, and it was the best price in South Florida.
Experience the Vera difference at Vera Cadillac Buick GMC Pembroke Pines. Vera is 4 miles north of Sun Life Stadium.
Closed caption sponsored by Regal Cinemas, where we are more than just a movie.
Welcome back, friends, to the South Florida High School Football Show. Joe Zagacki and Don Bailey Jr. coming to you from the Regal Entertainment Theater in Plantation, where we are more than just a movie. Our broadcast game on the radio coming up this week is going to be University School at home against Chaminade. On the radio, it should be a good one. Who do you have?
How do I go against Chaminade sitting next to you? I got to go Chaminade.
That's correct. Okay, well, let's take a look at the rest of the games. Beginning on Thursday, Coconut Creek will be at Stranahan. That's a district game.
Let's go Stranahan.
Alrighty. In another district game, Cooper City home against South Broward at Cooper City. I'll take the Cowboys.
All right, I'll go with you. We'll double up on the Cowboys.
A district game at Coral Reef. Varela is visiting Coral Reef. I'm going with the Reef.
All right, I'll go with Varela.
Okay. In Broward County, Piper will be at Coral Springs.
All right, Joe, let's both go with Piper. What do you think?
I agree with you. Piper's having a good season. Morning will be at Doral Academy. That's a district game.
All right, I'll go Doral Academy.
Okay, I'll go with Doral as well. Southwest will take on Ferguson, a district matchup at Tropical Park. Southwest, we jinx you, so I'm going to pick Southwest.
Let's jinx them again. Southwest. I hope not.
All right, Goldman's going to be at South Miami.
Yes, they will.
All right, who do you like?
I'll take South Miami.
Dr. Crop will play host to Hialeah.
I'm going to take Dr. Crop.
North Miami Beach is going to be at Hialeah Gardens.
I'm going to go with North Miami Beach.
Ronald Reagan's going to be at Miami Springs.
We'll go with Miami Springs.
Homecoming for Somerset Academy. They play host to Pembroke Pines Charter.
Ooh, it's going to be a tough one. We're going to go Pembroke Pines Charter.
All right, I like West Broward taking on Northeast at Northeast.
I'll go with you on that one.
Friday, Dade Christian against Archbishop Carroll. We talked a lot about Dade Christian.
We got to go Dade Christian.
Jackson is going to be at American Heritage. This should be a monster game.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Generals.
I'm going to go with American Heritage. Archbishop McCarthy home against Coral Glades. I'm going to go with McCarthy.
I'll go with McCarthy as well.
Here's a big game. Booker T at Columbus.
I'm going to stick with Booker T.
Another huge game in Broward County. Hollandale home against Cardinal Gibbons.
I'm sticking with Hollandale.
I agree with you on that one. Gulliver Prep's having a good season. They're at home against Champagnat. I'll go Gulliver Prep.
I'll go Gulliver Prep as well.
Miami Beach is hosting Coral Gables. I like the Gables.
Yes, they're gonna knock out the High Tides.
Okay, Coral Park at Miami High.
Coral Park.
Flanagan is home against Cypress Bay. Tough year for Cypress Bay. Flanagan's got great defense.
Yeah, I'm going to go. As much as I don't want to go that way, I'm going with Flanagan.
All right, Monarch and Deerfield Beach. Monarch is the home team, but the game is going to be played at Deerfield Beach.
So I'll go with the away team at home, Deerfield Beach.
Deerfield had a huge win over St. Thomas. They've got a great amount of momentum. Plantation at Dillard. We talked earlier about Dillard. Plantation needs this one as well.
Yeah, let's go Dillard.
All right, I know where you're going with this one. Central takes on Hialeah Miami Lakes. Lakes is the home squad.
Yeah, I'm going with Central. Sorry, Trojans.
Hollywood Hills at Nova.
I'll go Hollywood Hills.
Homestead is home to Killian.
Killian.
LaSalle is at Pinecrest.
Pinecrest.
Mater Academy Charter at Westland Hialeah. I'll go Mater.
I'll go with you.
Miami Palmetto is at South Ridge.
I'm going with the Ridge.
Northwestern, this is a big game. Northwestern at Norland.
That's a tough one for me, Joe. You pick that one.
I'm going to take Northwestern.
Okay, we'll go Northwestern.
South Plantation home against Western.
Western it'll be.
Western it will be, and Belen Jesuit wraps up the schedule. They will take on Braddock at Braddock. That game at Tropical Park.
Let's go with Braddock.
We'll go with Braddock.
Sure.
I'm going to go with Belen Jesuit.
That's fine.
Okay. All right, so good luck to each and every high school out there. Get out and see your favorite high school. For Don Bailey Jr., I'm Joe Zagacki. We'll see you next time right here on the South Florida High School Football Show.
The South Florida High School Football Show has been sponsored by the Miami Dolphins, Metro PCS, U.S. Army, Vera Cadillac Buick GMC, Tico Peoples Gas, Adidas, and Regal Cinemas.